Hello everyone, this is Codiferous Rex, and welcome to episode 2. Yay! Um, Today we're going to be talking about Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, the 6th movie, based on the 6th book, obviously. Pretty much the story of this movie is, for the past few decades actually, Dumbledore's been collecting memories from various people, including himself, about Lord Voldemort. The reason for this is so that he can teach Harry everything he can about Voldemort so he can get ready to fight him, just because in the prophecy, of course, in the last movie we learned that either Voldemort has to kill Harry or Harry has to kill Voldemort. That's the way it's got to end. One person who holds a very important memory is Horace Slughorn, who used to be a potions master. He used to be the potions teacher when Harry's parents went to school. And so Dumbledore needs to get his memory of what happened, of something that happened between him and Voldemort. The problem is Horace doesn't want to, give out that information, so Dumbledore gives Harry a mission to get close to him because Slughorn has this thing where he loves famous people. He loves just, I don't know, he's kind of weird that way. So Dumbledore wants Harry to get close to him and then get him to divulge the memory, so that way they can learn, this vital, important secret about Lord Voldemort. Also, during this whole big, mystery reveal of Voldemort's inner psyche or whatever, we got to deal with, of course, the confusing hormonal nature of 16-year-olds, and given Jenny's character, 15-year-olds. Ron and Hermione are, of course, getting closer to admitting their feelings for one another, but Ron suddenly becomes popular when he becomes the keeper for the Quidditch team, and Lavender Brown, who is kind of stuck up, kind of latches on to him and is like, oh, he's mine, I love him, I love him, I love him. Yeah. And so Hermione doesn't take that very well, and it goes back and forth with them arguing, and Harry is starting to notice Jenny, who of course has noticed him for a long time, and he's got to deal with the fact that she's in a relationship, and of course he's worried about what Ron will think if he starts dating his younger sister. It's just all crazy shenanigans and drama. It's like the CW. And for those who are wondering, who haven't read the books, yes, there is a character death in this movie. For those of you, pretty much everybody knows who it is, but for the very select few of you who don't, I'm not going to spoil it. I mean, I could, but I'm in a good mood. I really like the Quidditch in this movie, too. There are two scenes of it. The first scene is the Quidditch tryouts, which we only see the Keeper auditions, which are Ron versus a guy named Cormac McLaggen, who's a real douchebag. The second scene is the Quidditch match against Slytherin, which I really enjoyed because it was a nice change of pace. We didn't actually see Harry throughout the entire thing. It was just Ron saving goals and stuff. So overall, it was a great movie, and I totally recommend it. There were a couple things missing, but with the pacing of the story, you don't, if you haven't read the books, it's not like you're going to go, hey, what the hell happened? But, yeah, it was still a great movie. And so for my final verdict, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince gets a 9 out of 10. Now, for those of you who are fans of the book and are curious as to what they left out or what they changed, I'll go over that now. Now, for those of you who are just fans of the movies and don't want to know anything about the books, you don't want me to spoil it for you, I strongly suggest that you stop watching, because there's going to be spoilers. Most notably, I noticed they left out a couple of scenes with Dumbledore and Harry looking through the memories. As for the ring, we don't see anything from the House of Gaunt. There's no mention of the Gaunts or anything like that. The memory with Slughorn, we see that Tom Riddle already has the ring. He's had it. There's no scene with the Hufflepuff Cup, so I'm guessing that I'm curious to see how they're going to try and introduce that in the 7th movie, with Harry not having any prior knowledge of it. Also in this movie, as opposed to in the book, when Harry walks in on Dean and Ginny making out, and then suddenly he's just like, wait, I do have feelings for her, oh crap. Well, I mean, it's not exactly like that, but you know what I mean. In this movie, they're just kind of infatuated with each other from the beginning of the movie, which does kind of throw me off from what I'm used to because I've read the book a lot of times. But, you know, it works for a movie. I was actually kind of surprised with the detail they used, the detail they retained from the book. For example, when Dumbledore and Harry go to see Slughorn, uh, I remember in the book there was a spot where Harry sees blood on the wall. And then Dumbledore's like, don't worry, it's not human blood, it's dragon's blood. And that actually happens in the movie. So I was actually surprised they left that little tidbit in. Also, Aragog does return in this movie, oddly enough. I didn't think they'd do it, but he does, sort of. That's one thing I do have to question. Now, I recall from Chamber of Secrets, and I just saw it recently to get, you know, pumped to see this one. Aragog was a giant frickin' spider. And I know that all the spiders that we saw in the second movie, granted, were giant, but Aragog was frickin' huge. Aragog was gigantic. I mean, like, uber gigantic. In this movie, however, they actually don't CGI it. They have a actual spider, a dead spider sitting there that they made. But it's not Aragog's size. It actually looks like around the size of the spider that attacked Ron in the car. You know, where it, like, grabbed around the neck and Harry used the spell to get rid of it. Also, at the end of the book, you know, when the Death Eaters show up and everything, there's this huge fight, the Order of the Phoenix and the Oars, and some members of the DA, but most notably Neville, Luna, Ginny, Ron, and Hermione are fighting off the Death Eaters. In this movie, however, the Death Eaters show up, Dumbledore's killed, and they just walk out. There's no one stopping them except Harry. Harry runs after him, but that's it. Everyone else just goes directly to Dumbledore's body, and it's like, oh, Dumbledore, you're dead. Sad face. Also, there wasn't a funeral scene. We didn't get to see the final chapter of the book displayed on the silver screen. It kind of bugs me, but it really doesn't at the same time, because Rufus Scrimgeour is not introduced in this movie. He's going to be introduced in the next movie, only to be killed off probably in the scene after that, or probably on screen. We'll see how that goes. Instead of the funeral scene, we get Harry going up to Dumbledore's office and just holding Dumbledore's wand and, you know, being kind of sad and depressed, understandably. And then we cut to the astronomy tower where, of course, Dumbledore was killed. And it's Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Although Ron might as well be non-existent because he doesn't talk in that entire scene. And that's another thing. Ron does not say a single word after the scene with the Felix Felicis. Am I saying that right? With the luck potion. After Harry takes the love potion, After Harry takes the luck potion and walks out of the Gryffindor common room, Rupert Grint has no lines whatsoever. So he's just kind of sitting there while Hermione is kind of, you know, just trying to give Harry more moral and emotional support. And when Harry says, I'm not coming back next year, I'm going to go search for the Horcruxes and stop Voldemort, she's like, you're not going alone, we're going with you. And Ron just sits there, doesn't say anything. And those are really the only changes that I noticed immediately. I mean, maybe on other viewings, I'll notice some other stuff. Maybe if I read the book again, there'll be something I missed. But until then, you know, enjoy the movie. And this is Codiferous Rex signing out.